House on Haunted Hill was a horror classic directed by William Castle and released to theaters in 1959. 40 years later, it would receive a remake, like many classic films. Of course they would do that. But anyway, let's turn our attention to the original. At a time when films are mostly in black and white, Geoffrey Rush was a young boy, and Vincent Price was still alive, starring as the rich tycoon Frederick Loren. He and his wife invite 5 random people to the mansion for a haunted house party, and everyone who stays through the night will earn $10,000 each. Just to be clear, these people don't know the Lorens or each other, but they all have one thing in common. They need money badly. But as the night progresses, the guests witness all sorts of terrors and many strange apparitions appear, keeping the audience guessing what will come next. Even if there isn't a major terror going on at the moment, you still get the chills from the stationary hazards, such as stains of blood in the ceiling and a vat of acid in the basement in which a previous resident killed his wife. It disintegrates the hair and flesh, but the bones surface. Watching this film, like many horror films of the time, the atmosphere is what sets the tone. It really makes you wish there were more films like that, where the fear factor is more dependent on the atmosphere than simply blood and gore. Well, okay, that statement had more to do with the fact that such level of violence was not allowed in films back in the day. But if it was released today and it had that level of violence in it, it wouldn't be nearly as effective as just letting it sit, just allowing the overall environment to get under your skin. The concept alone is enough to warrant attention for spook factors. 5 complete strangers holding the objective of surviving the night in order to earn money? Well, maybe not complete strangers, but not a single one of them has seen the man who rented the house, or even each other. Nora Manning is an employee for one of Lauren's companies, Lance Schroeder is a test pilot, Dr. David Trent is a psychiatrist specializing in hysteria, Ruth Bridges is a columnist for the newspaper, and Watson Pritchard is the owner of the house after the 7 murders, which include his brother, that were committed within, and he believes that the place is haunted. Frederick Loren rented the place and throws a party for his wife to give the guests money if they make it through the night. It's definitely a product of the time, though. Its age definitely shows, not just for the fact that it's in black and white, but also how short it is and how the characters are developed, not to mention all the scenery that goes into the production, and also the overall campiness of the film, kind of like Ed Wood. Not to mention, Nora is one of the most annoying characters in the film. Not necessarily of all time, but what I despise about her is that she screams a lot. It seems as though just about everything in the house has it in to scare her. I understand that she's entering into hysteria, but they've taken this deal a tad too far. House on Haunted Hill is definitely not perfect. It came out the same year as Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space, which has been very commonly deemed as one of the worst films ever made, and its overall presentation can be pretty easily rivaled by many films from the 30s, even the classic Universal monster movies. But if you're a movie fanatic who craves some of the best works of any genre, consider this one in terms of horror. Despite its campiness, you'd find appreciation in the set design and the overall atmosphere. It's not among my all-time favorite films or anything like that, but it's worth checking out.